Fluffy's Norwegian Escape, The Ascent of Galdhøpiggen. Chapter 1. The Climb Begins. Humans versus Common Sense. The icy wind cut through the thin air like a knife made of spite as Emma eagerly tightened her hiking boots, her face glowing with dangerous enthusiasm. Her massive backpack bulged with gear, snacks, and more misplaced hope than a failing tech startup's press release. Ahead of us, Galdhøpiggen, Norway's highest mountain, loomed at 2,469 meters, its snow-covered peak stabbing the sky like a spear forged in nature's meanest mood swing. Emma double-checked her gear with military precision. Meanwhile, I calculated survival odds and mentally drafted my resignation letter. I flicked my tail. 9 hours of vertical torment for fun. Humans really are nature's worst experiment. With reckless abandon, she charged ahead, leaving me with 2 choices: follow or freeze into a historical curiosity. Chapter 2. The Road That Should Have Saved Us. After what felt like several lifetimes of suffering, something caught my sharp green eyes. A narrow, winding road climbing smoothly toward the mountain at 840 meters above sea level. I froze for bristling with unmatched rage. Is that a road? Emma, distracted by the view, missed the volcanic meltdown brewing beside her. You absolute maniac! We could have driven most of the way. Instead, you chose maximum suffering, because why not? The road shimmered like a lost promise of sanity, its comfortable pavement taunting me with all the leisure I'd been cruelly denied. I could be sleeping in the rolling den right now, but no, hiking builds character. I etched this gross oversight into Emma's permanent record, right next to forgot to pack better cat treats, and thought climbing a glacier was a good vacation idea. Chapter 3. Into the wasteland, dirt, rocks, and disgust. The trail stretched endlessly through bare rock fields, scraggly grass, and hostile dirt patches, hanging onto life like freeloading tenants. The wind slashed through the mountains like a Norse spirit collecting overdue debts, turning every breath into a painful negotiation. Emma marched ahead with unstoppable energy, while I rehearsed my obituary in elegant sarcasm. We passed 2 hikers who stared at me like they'd spotted Bigfoot ordering a cappuccino. Is that a cat? One stammered. I fixed them with icy disdain. Yes, I'm hiking. Your life just got more interesting. Chapter 4. Historical Reflections. Human Folly Through the Ages. As we climbed, I reflected on humanity's obsession with unnecessary suffering. Throughout history, humans have scaled peaks, sailed into storms, and invented taxes, all in the name of achievement. I imagined ancient Norse adventurers scaling this merciless mountain out of pure spite. We claim this mountain because doing something easier would be too logical. I snorted. History is just humans doing ridiculous things while pretending it matters. Chapter 5. Muskoxen Encounter, Nature's Power Move. Amidst craggy outcroppings and windswept tundra, Emma froze, her eyes locked onto a distant herd of muskoxen, grazing with majestic indifference. The massive beasts had horned heads like armored tanks, their woolly coats thicker than corporate cover stories. I narrowed my eyes. Nature's ultimate muscle cars. The largest bull snorted defiantly, its cold, dead stare suggesting it knew it could trample existence itself. There's your real musk, I muttered. Doesn't promise space travel, just absolute destruction. Emma snapped photos excitedly, while I quietly respected their raw, brutal efficiency. Now that's a business model I can respect. Chapter 6. Tourist Struggles, Nature's Equalizer. As we climbed higher, the trail narrowed, reducing the landscape to sharp rocks and merciless winds with unapologetic cruelty. Tourists littered the path like abandoned characters in a survival movie. Some collapsed dramatically on boulders, gasping for air. Emma powered through like a Norse queen on a mission, while I watched with mild interest, secretly hoping someone would offer snacks. One wheezing hiker groaned, I thought this was supposed to be fun. I flicked an ear, unimpressed. Welcome to Death by Fitness. No refunds. Chapter 7. Summit Glory, King of the Mountain. After an eternity of suffering, we reached Galdhøpiggen summit. The endless jagged peaks stretched below us like a shattered stone empire, gleaming coldly under a hostile sky. Emma dropped her backpack with a victorious sigh, collapsing onto a boulder, her face glowing with achievement and exhaustion. I stared across the icy expanse, tail flicking thoughtfully. Majestic, in a this is where bad endings happen sort of way. Then it hit me, a grand realization. I might be the first tabby cat from America to ever reach this summit. Emma unpacked a thermos of tea and a sandwich, completely unaware of the historic significance unfolding beside her. I stood tall, chest puffed with unparalleled pride. I am legend. Chapter 8. Descent into Misery, Gravity's Revenge. After barely 5 minutes of rest, Emma declared it was time to descend. I stretched dramatically, groaning with theatrical suffering. Great! We survived. Now let's never do this again. The descent was worse than expected, a relentless ankle-destroying crawl over loose gravel and sharp stones, with gravity laughing like a victorious supervillain. We passed a fresh group of hikers, their hollow-eyed stares filled with deep regret. Emma waved cheerfully. I hissed darkly. Lies. Endless lies. Chapter 9. Back at base. Betrayed and bitter. By the time we reached the rolling den, mutual exhaustion reduced us to silent survivors. Emma brewed tea at the camp stove, her face glowing with satisfaction and reckless pride. I sprawled luxuriously on our cozy blanket, finally warm, still betrayed. You dragged me up a mountain and back down. Congratulations, you've redefined suffering.